Hi, my name is Tamika Caston-Miller, and this is Lunchtime Yin. Well, the truth is, this could be at any time, but it is only going to be about 15 minutes to get your life right. So, we are going to do a very quick yin session. Just as a reminder, yin poses or the yin practice is based on traditional Chinese medicine, working the meridians or the energetic lines of the body. And the rationale is that we have all of these lines in the body that correlate to the seasons, and sometimes they get a little clogged up. This is the same concept as to why you would go to acupuncture or why you would get acupressure with your feet. So all of those things, in fact, if you've ever gotten a deep tissue massage, you are going to be doing essentially the same thing that we're going to be doing today, but you're going to be doing it yourself, and it's only going to take you 15 minutes. So the very first pose that we're going to do, I have my dear Lenie, who is going to be our model for today. And essentially, the one thing that is really important about our yoga practice in general is taking time to actually ground, taking time to actually begin your yoga. So the very first thing that we will do is actually come into the auspicious space of yoga with a thoughtful breath. Take in a full inhale. Exhale, let it go. And take a moment just to let your eyes close or be softened as we take one mindful minute. Draw on a full inhale. Exhale, let it go. All right. Very first pose that we're going to start with is tadpole. In this pose, this is a wide knee child's pose or balasana. You'll separate your knees, bring your toes to touch if that works for your body. Walk your hands out and fold over the mat. I'm going to set my timer here. You're going to be here for about 3 minutes. And in this 3 minutes, take an opportunity to allow for your body to begin to open. And by that, what I mean is to take your awareness inside to notice where you might be holding, bracing, and utilize your deep inhalation to fill the entire back of the body, and your exhalation to draw you closer to the mat. Now this mat is just a small layer between you and the ground or the floor. And the floor is just a small layer between you and the earth. As you continue to connect in this pose, consider yourself nestling down into Mother Earth. Mother Earth has all of the nutrients and care that we need for survival. Every single thing that we need is provided for from the Great Mother. So allow yourself to feel held by Mother Earth. Maybe you visualize her holding you back and bringing you into the palms of her loving hands, knowing that you are cared for and nurtured by something that is bigger than you. Begin to notice your breath and give it a little more awareness now, drawing out a full inhale, even allowing for the back body to rise a bit. Invite a tiny pause at the top of your inhale, and then exhale, let it go. Allowing for a tiny pause to be at the bottom of the exhale. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. And let that go. And walk your hands back toward your body. Take your time. And bring yourself up to seated. Bring your knees together. Now, because you just did all of that hip opening, now what we'll do is we'll give yourself an opportunity to neutralize that. So you will come to Sphinx pose. In Sphinx pose, you're going to bring your elbows underneath your shoulders, and your pelvic floor will nestle into the mat or the ground. This is a practice that you'll be able to do anywhere because you don't need any props in order for them to happen, anything special. However, if you do have a blanket and you struggle at times with any type of pain in the low back, you can take a blanket and give it a roll. And then this blanket can come right underneath your hip points. And this will lessen the severity of the compression that is happening in the low back. This is especially helpful for those who have SI pain, who have L4, L5 pain, and anyone who just in general has a bit more tightness in the low back. We are utilizing this pose, and notice where Lenie's shoulders are in comparison to her hands. Oftentimes, especially if you're new to this pose, you will actually bring your hands back so that your hands are under your shoulders and the chest will be caving into the mat. So you'll want to remove your chest away from the mat instead. We're purposefully compressing here in the low back, and we're utilizing this pose to be able to compress along the energetic lines in the back body, because just like a water hose, when that compression happens, if you were to bend a water hose in half and allow for the water to collect, right, it can't go anywhere. And then, of course, your younger sibling comes by and then you like spray your younger sibling once you open the water hose up. What's going to end up happening is in this pose, and the reason why we're utilizing compression in a safe way that is grounded, utilizing the floor, is by the time you come out of this pose, it is going to allow for all of that blood flow to go and to move that you are utilizing, for which you had the compression in the low back and in the spine. So go ahead and take another 30 seconds here just for you. I'll be watching the time. The head can be at neutral, or you can always utilize a block underneath the head at its highest height. Deepen your breath. Exhale, let everything go. Remove the block, and whether or not you're on top of a blanket, come all the way down. Let your arms be where they're comfortable. And just take a moment here for you. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Press the mat away or the ground away. And now you'll come into a supine twist. So with twist, it's really important. Go ahead and come to your back, Lenie. With twist, it's very important that you utilize the twist to elicit what you're looking for. And this, because we're concerned with a midday or a reparative practice, what you're going to do is go ahead and bring your knees into the body. And you'll want to keep your knees at around that height as you go into the twist. This is a tucked twist and with a possibility of extended legs. So you'll take your legs over to the right and then your gaze over to the left. Notice that the knees are still tucked in, really close to the body. Feet are away from the mat, and your legs can actually extend out long. Notice that you can't see the feet. The tendency is for the entire twist to take place on the mat, and if the entire twist takes place on the mat, then you do not get this delicious low back release here and right here. Instead, all of the twist is happening higher up in the body. So just soften or close your eyes and allow for your shoulders to get heavy into the mat for this beautiful twist. I'm particular to a very long twist. I like twists that are at least 3 to 5 minutes, but for all intents and purposes for today, we'll just go with a shorter one. And allow for every exhalation to be an opportunity for you to soften this space between your shoulder blades. Draw in a full inhale. Exhale with sound. Bring your knees back into the center of the body. I bet she doesn't want to come out of that today. Twist can be really reparative, and go over to the other side, allowing the feet to be off of the mat. And you're always welcome to place something under your legs. I mean, you don't have to touch the ground if you don't want to. And if that earlier breath helped you, I invite you to use it again. And taking a full inhale. Exhale, let it go. Hug your knees back into your body for Uttanasana. And just take a moment here. And now you'll just go to any chair that you have accessible to you. We'll use this one for today, and I'll move it to Lenie. Any chair is going to work for this as long as it's not too high. And just bring your thighs, backs of the thighs to the chair. Her legs are a bit long, so we want the backs of the knees to actually be supported. If you're at home, you can always take a blanket and actually wrap it around the legs so that your legs do not bow out. And your knees then are hip width distance. Then you can take anything else, your jacket, your shirt, your hoodie, and bring it over your eyes so that you have darkness. I like to use a blanket and just hood right over the eyes, leaving the nose exposed. And you'll take a moment here in your Shavasana. Allow for your breath to calm, for all of the weight in your body to be given back to the ground, the earth under you. To allow all holding, all sense of holding, bracing, or expectation be out of the body. Just come into radical presence right now. Sensing the support underneath your calves, your back, your shoulders, head. And feel free to stay here for as long as you have time. I recommend that your Shavasana be no less than 5 minutes, and a truly reparative Shavasana will be 15. It is always my goal to leave you better than I found you, and I hope that happened for you today. Jai Bhagwan.